Ladies and gentlemen, duelists, it's time for the final of 2,488 players culminating in this last duel. Joshua Schmidt in the red versus Anthony winning the dice roll, leading us off with Pot of Prosperity in the Rescue Ace deck versus Joshua Schmidt's Bestial Synchro strategy.
Again, the most represented deck, even in Top Cut, against one of the most unique ones there, but this doesn't mean anything. Nobody has the advantage right now, and let's see these reveals from Anthony.
That's everything you could ask for. We've got defensive cards, we've got Preventer, as well as Rota, the most important piece of the puzzle in Rescue Ace, the Hydrant. Will we be going wee woo in this final? Let's find out what he decides to pick here. And considers the options if we need that starter, and does indeed actually go for the reinforcement of the army to get the Warrior from the deck here. Activates it immediately. No responses from Josh. Ash Blossom doesn't come down on the Prosperity. Actually going for the Lifter here.
Yeah, off to a pretty good start, honestly, and this is actually the first time that we get to comment on Rescue Ace, and maybe for once we get...
No,
I don't want to say it.
I mean, it was Alberto speak for the event, and it's very close. Ours unfortunately failed, Nadir, but let's see.
Yeah, something a little bit different, I suppose, for us here, at least. Rescue Ace was massively represented. It was, I think, I want to say 16% of the total representation of the entire event, as actually, no, 12% of the entire event, alongside Unchained. And I suppose, perhaps oddly, Unchained did not convert anywhere near as well as Rescue Ace did. In fact, Rescue Ace dominating the top cut spot, but not actually going that deep into the top cut. But there is one final firefighter remaining, and his name is Anthony Lopez here, as we are dropping down Turbulence. And things are about to get bumpy as we set 4 cards directly from the deck here.
What a start!
All right, we've got the 4 cards from the deck here setted directly. I mean, wow, it's an incredible card, and so much value gained from a singular boss monster. And will we continue on with some plays here to recycle with plays like our Sunlight Wolf? This deck is in fact playing the Proxy Magician version, which sets up the Terahertz, and that gives you the negate in the graveyard for your turn 1 play. Let's see if he actually goes for that. All right, and there is a search here coming up.
Absolutely. Let's see. On the other hand, Joshua obviously has a lot of ways to disrupt this field, going second with his runic spells. Most likely, we have seen him all over, and he has gone through quite a significant top 8. He knocked 2 Labyrinth decks with both Joe and then Dinka Bui, so he had quite the rough journey up to this final.
Goes for Preventer here from the hand, making the Masquerena, not going into any Proxy Magician plays here. So Josh is going to draw for turn now and fight through these last 3 set cards, as well as the IP, most likely into SP, a Little Knight. Lots of disruption and 1-card combos utilized in the Rescue Ace strategy, probably why it's been so popular this weekend. It's just an all-round versatile deck that has so many ways to just generate advantage, control the field. But will it be enough?
Seems like he has 3 monsters and 3 spells, so pretty even, and sometimes you want to see more.
Evenly matched, perhaps you could say.
That would have been a card.
Here is the Bestial Lebellion being discarded from the hand, searching any Bestial from the deck here. Gonna get Magnemut most likely. Doesn't have a ton of synergy in this matchup, unfortunately. The Bestial is a little bit weaker. Rescue Ace, a full fire engine. Literally an engine, get it? Fire engine. So no light and darks to banish to take advantage of the Bestials, but we're going to get Magnemut out of the deck regardless, and I think we're going to be mostly relying on our Runics to try and take this one down here. And we do have 3 spells in hand here, one of which is Tip.
And that's arguably the best one, so why not?
Yeah, this matchup is probably something that Josh has played a lot of going through this entire tournament. Lots of representation, as we mentioned, from Rescue Ace. What do you think about the Rescue Ace matchup versus Runics?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be like so disappointed if I were Joshua to play against Rescue Ace. I mean, the die roll was impactful because like this is huge, honestly. You have the Preventer, which basically gives you a free book of Moon, let's say. And I mean, with this hand being drawn by Joshua, honestly, it doesn't help much because, yeah, here with the 3 setup from Anthony, yeah, indeed, he's just trying maybe let just, I mean, I think Joshua knows what Rescue Ace does, right?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to contain here, it looks like. That is...
Let's see if there is a response. We know, but no, doesn't seem like it. So we'll resolve.
Yeah, so the Rescue Ace cards, for those of you unfamiliar, you have a bunch of effects that you can activate, such as special summoning, negating, as well as destroying. But they also benefit from bonus effects when you have the Hydrant on the field here. And that is sort of the heart and soul of the deck because it's extremely important to maintain the Hydrant's presence so that you can get maximum value out of all of your spells and traps.
And this is exactly the case here. Magnamut was negated, but also now cannot be used as material. So this is pretty big here.
I'm curious to see if we're actually in the battle phase, potentially, because we could have went battle phase with the Magnamut, then try and bait out Masquerena, but...
That's a great card, though. Discarded as he was forced to banish the Lubellion. He actually has the Saronir, which could just replace it right away.
Yeah, it's a great discard here. We can activate the Hugin, potentially.
And resolves?
Yep, it does get good synergy off of that discard, because now the Saronir can dump as well as searching out the all-important Fountain. Saronir replacing itself here with the Lubellion, so the banish of the Magnamut, like I mentioned at the start, not a lot of synergy in this matchup because you're really lacking the light and darks that your opponent can facilitate for you to give you essentially free summons and take away their resources, so we're going to have to use our own here, but it's okay. Saronir fills up the grave nicely, which means Lubellion should be able to become special summon to the field and get that all-important regained up.
But now Anthony decides that he needs to do something, and apparently he is about to put this face down, which now kind of prevents Joshua from using his extra monster zone, so could be quite problematic.
Yeah, the extra monster zone kind of important here because it is where you summon all of your runic fusion monsters from. So denying the ability to utilize that right now means that we can't go into things like Chaos Angel, we can't do our synchro plays, and really important Preventer activation here. Don't forget, we also have the Masquerena online still unused. So a huge amount of disruption still left from Anthony.
And obviously we have seen already Joshua key card in the deck, which is that branded Regain to just keep on accumulating advantage. But here comes the tip, even before the Fountain, just because of that Masquerena threat.
Yeah, Runic Tip might have to try and search for something that deals with Masquerena before we can commit our Runic Fountain to field. Because you do not want to have your Fountain disrupted here. You can quite easily protect it, generally with the Hugin, but unfortunately that's been set face down. So our next order of operations that we're going to have to deal with is the Masquerena, and it looks like Josh is trying to find a tool to deal with it, either going for Hydrant or Masquerena here.
Absolutely, the Flashing Fire. Let's see what he banishes off the top. Nothing too relevant, it seems.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of one-offs in the Rescue Ace deck that you're going to be getting quite fortunate with because of the... oh, actually does commit the Fountain immediately here.
Okay.
All right, so I think that we're probably going to try and resolve the Fountain, but I think Anthony does need to probably respond here.
Yeah.
Or at least in response to a Runic being activated. Otherwise, on the new chain, we'll be able to activate the SP when chained.
But doesn't seem like that's the case. The problem is you have the Flashing Fire, so you can just chain that to the Masquerena. But finally, we get to see this part of Joshua's deck. We have been waiting for a while for this Quems, and now we finally get to see one.
Yeah, Quem is sort of the other kind of normal summon engine of the deck here because it allows you to facilitate more synchro plays. It's also a light in the dark, which is pretty synergistic with your Bestials. You can send the Cartesia from your deck to the graveyard, and if you control a fusion at the end, you can return it to the hand for more resources, and does allow you to go into synchro plays here. Now, it's important as well because Quem is a light rather than a dark, so it does mean you get a lot of good value from Chaos Angel if you decide to go into that.
And also with the duality, I was thinking, you know, when as a shuffler, you know, because light and dark monsters that they have, you know. Yeah.
All right, we're chaining the trap here because we do not want to have Lovelian resolve. So the regained is a super important aspect of the deck here. We're gonna
but there is
chain.
a slumber. Wow.
Wow. So the extinguish being stopped by the slumber protection here, so that we can keep our Lovelian on the field and on the new chain as well. Really importantly, Fountain does have 3 targets in the graveyard. And this is where things can get really scary. Once you start resolving Fountain, things can really snowball out of control, because that is when you generate all of that advantage and then you dig into more disruption, and then it just keeps going and going until your opponent is depleted of resources and you've accrued a advantage upon your opponent of like 5+ cards. Let's see if Anthony can do anything about this here. This extinguish is, yeah, just a huge dodge on the slumber.
Goes
but now
the IP.
Yeah, IP Masquerena here being activated, so we do know that Josh searched out the flashing fire. Yeah, just considering the options here before resolving this flashing fire, but I think it's very likely we're going to have to stop this Masquerena. And there it is, it comes down here, targeting Masquerena. All right, chaining the rescue here.
Yeah, the alert on the turbulence, it seems
Sorry,
like.
yes, the alert.
Yeah.
And yeah, seems like the chain will now resolve, and what a chain it was indeed.
2 off the top here.
Okay.
And yeah, huge chain being resolved here. This was really important. We needed to have a way to deal with Masquerena, and that is the most important part of the strategy, is to resolve this Fountain as we target these 3 spells, recycling them back into the deck, and then drawing 3 more. And you can see here Anthony is getting a little bit outgrinded right now.
But now that Anthony has gone for the alert back on the turbulence, this is what we will try to do.
So I think what Anthony is trying to do here is to dodge, or rather use the effect of the turbulence to destroy a card on the field here, and that is really well spotted.
Very, very, very well played. Yeah.
Oh, last card there.
Rebellion, wow.
Huge defensive plays there by Anthony.
What a play by Anthony.
Big spot there to trigger the turbulence in response, sequencing that perfectly as well to make sure that the turn player priority resolves in Josh's favor, so that he can then use the turbulence as the chain link too.
And that's it, and that's it.
Passes
What a turn by
Josh,
Anthony.
Wow. Unbelievable. That is really, really well played from Anthony. Josh was looking like he was maybe in the commanding seat there, but yeah, Anthony navigated that really well.
Yeah, that was
good catch, honestly, with the alert.
Great play from Anthony. I mean, we mentioned it already, YCS finalist, so 2-time finalist at a YCS is no joke.
Yeah, and this is where things get really out of control here. We've got the headquarters being resolved here. It is just an infinite cycle that you can do with this deck, putting back your banished as well as in the graveyard, rescue A spells and traps, and you can just keep resolving turbulence and the recycling, so you can just keep using these over and over and over again.
What a show off from Anthony,
Absolutely.
honestly.
Amazing.
Very
Rescue,
well
alert,
played.
extinguish, contain. The fire rescue ace strategy is just in full flow here. If you didn't need a display of such perfect gameplay from Rescue Ace, you've seen it now. Anthony doing really, really well here to keep Joshua Schmidt at bay.
With that alert, honestly, I think that that was the game changer.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a huge
The game
swing.
would have been probably over on Joshua's favor, but instead Anthony found the line, and look at this advantage. Usually it's the Runic deck who, you know, can get ahead in terms of card advantage, but wow.
Yeah, just creating so much here because of the headquarters. Hugin goes back into the extra deck, but Josh is
He left
completely out
top
here.
decking, right?
Yeah.
0 cards in hand, 0 cards
I think
on
he
field.
has nothing in hand, right?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's really rough here. Josh is going to need something huge off the top here to try and come back into this game here, but I don't even know what you can possibly go for, because Runic Fountain is going to need another Runic to resolve in order to actually maximize its efficiency here. And, well, Anthony still potentially can go for more Link plays in main phase 2, setting up, I mean, whatever he likes. Can go into an SP still that we haven't used yet. And yeah, we'll see if we'll see the Proxy Magician lines come out.
And this is exactly what he's going for, but no, just goes for a regular SP, passes play back to Joshua, who will now go for the Cartesian. Let's see.
Cartesian returned from the graveyard here back to the hand as Josh draws for turn. That is 2 cards to a full entourage of Rescue Ace spells and traps set off of that Turbulence.
Tough. Okay, we go for the Cartesia. One more card in hand.
Cartesia can maybe go battle phase, try and attack over the Hydrant here, but turn off the bonus effects of the Rescue Ace cards. Yeah, that's exactly what Josh is going to try and do here, but the Preventer activates the effect. And that could set the Cartesia face down, but Josh scoops it up. That's going to be game number 1, taken down by Anthony. Incredibly well played with the Rescue Ace deck. Especially to spot that with the destruction of the Runic Fountain, and I'd probably assume he maybe hasn't played against a lot of Runic.
Yeah, well, that was a good catch, honestly. Yeah. I think that he was specifically waiting for the moment, because like Joshua seems like if he was dominating the game once again, he came back into the game after a very solid start from Anthony, and I mean, game 1 goes to him.
No, it just goes to show how close this matchup is and how close this final will be between 2 amazing, amazing players. That this weekend are just absolutely killing it. But now that we can take a quick look at their side decks, we can try and figure out what their plan could be. And we are thinking maybe of a card that we didn't get to see in action in the previous one. Yeah, a certain word held by a Thunder Monster, we could say. Maybe that could come in.
Yeah, Denko Seka in this matchup could be quite relevant. We'll see if Josh decides to bring that down. There is a couple of answers you can go for in Rescue A, something like Preventer to set it. Maybe could work potentially. We'll see how exactly that plays out. Josh also plays Phantasme. Could be okay in this matchup. You know, there's a lot of ways to generate more advantage via your Link plays in Rescue Ace, but at the same time, maybe Nibiru, potentially. There's lots of lines that help you play around that. Josh's side doesn't actually look super well suited for this matchup. But yeah, on the side of Anthony, for his side deck, I mean, he gets to go second this time and deals with the Runic deck with, I mean, it's really popular. We've seen it in every single side deck. It's been more represented than Ash Blossom even this entire tournament in all of our players' deck lists. That is Droll and Lockbird, a huge card that he could see in this matchup that could potentially change things around for him.
Yeah, we have seen it again in the top 8 match where it seemed as if Joe Droll and Lock would completely shut down Joshua, but in the end that wasn't the case. But obviously, Labyrinth and Rescue Ace are completely different. Labyrinth, unless you get things going and the entire setup is kind of slower at setting up the game, if you take just one turn away, as we have seen here from Rescue Ace, that gets tough. So maybe Droll and Lock is much better in this particular matchup.
As we're waiting for the players to side up here, you can probably see here just about the beautiful trophy up for grabs. This is the Another Verse Glutonia. And
let's remind why they are dueling and for what they are dueling. This is it. Obviously, we have mentioned it today during the course of the weekend. Simony, top of Swiss, got his chance to walk home with the oversized copy, but here they are facing off not only for the beautiful trophy, but for the ultra rare prize card of Another Verse Glutonia, and that is nothing to disregard. So there is a lot on the line, of course. Just as a reminder, once again, Joshua trying to win his 4th YCS, which is just a ridiculous thing to even mention. While on the other hand, Anthony trying his redemption arc from YCS Lyon, which is just an epic story, honestly, epic storytelling. Thank you guys for the script.
Some of us don't even have 4 tops, let alone 4 wins. So that's up for grabs here. That's looking pretty good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a heavyweight matchup here. Anthony proving himself as a competent finalist. Can he take it all the way up a game against the world champion of Macedo? I mean, you must be feeling pretty confident right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, although, he's been a YCS finalist, the pressure must be on him, honestly, after, impressive year by Joshua. And, sitting there at the YCS final as a world champion, honestly, it's a big deal. And I think he also, did he lose a final? He won 3. I think
Joshua?
Yeah, I think he lost the final, or maybe, I mean, he made out the top 4s, I'm pretty sure, but I don't remember
sure
if he lost the final.
For a few times, yeah, a couple times, but yeah, it's a good question actually.
Right?
I think he lost in the finals of national for sure to Alpine back in the day we're talking about. But in terms of YCS, yeah, maybe not. Maybe he's undefeated in finals, and now we're jinxing
That's a
it.
record.
Yeah, that could be. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure, so let's not count on that. But
just a small update for you, those of you at home wondering why we have a bit of a delay here. We're just doing a small check on some sleeves here. So we're just going to have a double check, make sure everything is in order for the players so that they can actually have, yeah, just a good duel for the rest of this match here, making sure everything is in order, nothing is damaged. So that's what we're waiting on right now as we are sitting here for this game number 2 here. If it's possible, perhaps we can maybe bring up the deck breakdown once again, perhaps, so we can talk about that. And just show you just exactly what has unfolded this weekend, because, I mean, yeah, we've talked about the story all weekend. That is the diversity of the format. And here is top 64.
Yeah, and funnily enough, we do have, you know, what are the 2 most represented decks in the final, because we have Rescue Ace and Other, because this is exactly what's going on here. Rescue Ace was very represented. It didn't really perform that well throughout Top Card, but Anthony Lopez was the last one standing, and he's here 1-0 up. But among the different variety of decks, Joshua Smith was, you know, a loner as well, and that deck surely shocked us this weekend. It found along his line in the top cut a lot of, gotta say, lighter dark decks, which is why his bestial side of the deck really shined. But now in the final he's up against a fire one, and those might not be as good. But yeah, again, just as a reminder, we have had an incredible weekend of Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of action. I suggest any of you guys, if you have missed any of the future matches or even our very cool, I want to say, reenactments through either Master versus Caster and the Duel Chronicles, you can just go back and check out any of the action that you might have missed, alongside obviously checking on our social media pages some of the prizes and some of the other events that we have had. We had a very successful Ultimate Time Wizard event for 2005 with hundreds of duelists gathering, and in the end it was Daniele Stella, another YCS winner, who walked home with a copy of Kaiko, which was really cool giant card for this exclusive event. So I'm giving another way to just have fun and compete in Yu-Gi-Oh! And we'll see whether the next one will be and who will take it home. But yeah, it's a lot of different events this weekend.
Yeah, no, Time Wizard 2005, notoriously popular here in Italy. And if you ever go to a YCS, for those of you watching at home, if you are interested in taking part, you know, if you aren't actually a fan of the current format, there's plenty of public events with historical Time Wizard formats going down. And, you know, we host a lot of 2010. That's really popular. 2005 is what we have on this weekend. And huge prizes up for grabs.
Yeah. And the level of the competition, honestly, was huge, because we had, as mentioned before, Italian national champions coming over.
Yeah, that was,
I mean,
a blast, you know, from the
past. It was not easy to make top 8, honestly, at this side event. So,
just a small update for those of you wondering, we are currently after game number 1 here. Joshua Schmidt is down a game to Anthony Lopez. Rescue Ace versus Bestial Synchro Runic. Players are currently just re-sleeving right now. So once they get that done, we'll be able to jump back into the table and get some more action on their way.
But in the meantime, for our viewers, so maybe you can type in who you think is going to take this final, so just in chat.
Type it in the chat. Remember, try not to be too biased. I know who you'll be supporting. But yeah, Josh is down a game here. You know, he's got a lot to fight back through. Last feature match, he lost game 1, complete brick, and then reverse sweeped it. So there's so much drama to unfold here potentially. You know, there's still a lot to come your way right now.
Yeah, and you know, some of these fierce animals, when you push them against the wall, they become even tougher to beat, and that might be the case for Joshua. Down again, as mentioned, 1 game, but still completely in this matchup. Can resume now as our duelists are almost ready to fight it back once again, and we'll be able to see who will take this one home.
I think we might still be in the process of side decking right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Yep, so the sleeves have been corrected. So yeah, we're just going into the siding process here as, yeah, you got to make sure you got a good side plan going into your game 2s and 3s. Don't forget, a lot of players sometimes underutilize side decking, right? At least 50% of your duels are played with a side deck, and players sometimes don't practice it and have a good game plan going into their games 2 and 3. Do you have any suggestions or advice for the side deck?
Absolutely. I am a big side deck fan in terms of the
side deck guy.
Absolutely, big side deck guy. No, not even joking, but yeah, it's the #1 thing you should think about, because as you mentioned, at least 50%, but most likely it's going to be 66. You know, so you play more games with the side deck, and that's a really important thing of your deck. And I really like experimentations, and you can see already in our 2 finalists 2 completely different opposite ways. Anthony, a lot of different tech cards. Joshua, 5 free offs, and that's it. So really solid choice from Joshua. Makes sense. Although he has Runic and he can draw multiple cards, he just wants maximum consistency. Those 5 cards are the one he feels like are the best, and that has worked out for him. But again, we have Anthony against Joshua, and we are ready to see who will be the winner of game 2. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game 2 underway here at the finals of YCS Bologna 2023. 2,488 duelists have taken part in this event, and it all comes down to this last duel here. Runic tip is led with here by Joshua Schmidt. That's a good start. Your ability to just search your deck for anything is absolutely powerful, and Josh actually opting to go
that's a big one. He lost to that card in game 1, and now that card is for now at least gone.
One singular banish off the top here, and Runic tip hits a critical piece of the puzzle here. Going for the Runic Fountain, reason for that is it's sometimes easier to play through different hand traps your opponent might have, just so you can guarantee that you get the resolution here. Rather than holding out and searching the fountain. It's a good way to play around Droll and Lockbird.
Okay, and now he's gonna play around.
That's a good discard.
Wow, what a start. Yeah, playing around the Ash Blossom on the fountain. Let's see if there is some response from Anthony. He's thinking about it.
Chainlink 2 for Hugin here, as you mentioned, protecting the fountain from direct contact from any sort of hand trap like the Ash Blossom, which means that we will be able to draw 2 cards here, and then on the new chain, the Saranir can activate to send the Lebellion, and if we have any other Bestial in our hand, which very likely we could see here because we're drawing 2 cards, that's going to facilitate some Lebellion plays.
But for now, it seems like Anthony's fine with this. It will resolve, and
yeah, so even if Anthony drew the side deck Droll and Lockbird, the question is, will it be enough here? Draw phase, Runic tip means you can't draw, and then on resolution you go to your main phase, and this is where you start performing multiple searches off of that one chain, protecting you and insulating really well. So hasn't come up here, but it still is kind of relevant for
sends the Magnemut, so maybe you are drawing the regained. Let's see. Oh no, okay, he does have the Lebellion. Okay.
We got a triple Lebellion in our hand or something, maybe? Dumping the Magnemut, that's interesting, okay.
Promising start from
Ooh,
Joshua.
the Bestial Lebellion. Sorry, the Bestial Aliber. This is a card that you don't see very often here. We actually haven't even seen this in branded decks, honestly, but the reason that this is valuable is because it is a normal summon level 4 tuner that is a searchable target from Lebellion.
Yeah,
nice addition.
Pretty interesting card, and thanks to the Runics, this allows you to get easily into Baron de Fleur, for example, pretty much like the Naturia Runic deck that, I mean, Joshua even won the World Championship with, did, so...
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he just thinks 5Ds was the best year of Yu-Gi-Oh! And just wants to be synchroing as much as possible, because we are going into a 6 year, and that's going to be the Coral Dragon.
Yeah. And this is exactly what I was mentioning.
Second copy of Fountain here, which means that we're going to get at least a draw 1. As we go for the Dispelling, can go for Jerry. Jerry return the other Fountain from the graveyard to the hand, resolve the Fountain if we don't have any of the more Runics. And, oh, that is, just, we are going to go for
end.
1.
Yeah, 1 goes to end, and 1 goes to the bottom to draw a card.
So only 1 draw, we're not saving for a second one here, but also the value that Coral Dragon can offer as a Synchro up into 10 means that it is a tuner Synchro, allowing you to access Baron. And on top of that, when it goes to the graveyard, you can draw another card. Don't we just love drawing cards?
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a very solid start. And
Effect
this
Veiler.
Veiler is okay, honestly. I think I'm happy if I'm Joshua.
Yeah, you're completely fine with that there.
Yep.
Effect Veiler comes down on Jerry. We don't get the second fountain. I guess we're only going to have to settle for drawing 3 cards this turn. What a shame.
We'll draw a 4th one with Coral right now. So
Yeah, that's even more
fine.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet Anthony is really disappointed to have not drawn that all-important Droll and Lockbird, which we've seen so many people play over the course of this weekend. Really is the tech card of the format. And we see one more off the top here with the Coral Dragon. The question is, do we have a way to... Okay, there's the regain there.
As expected, he did have the regain in hand, and now let's
Do we have
see.
any Bestial? We do actually have another Bestial.
What a hand from Joshua.
Huge.
Yeah.
Summoning the Bestial here just in order to trigger the regain so that we can put the Jerry back into the extra. Draw 1 card. I think we're up to 5 this turn, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 5.
Awesome. Great. Cycling your deck for 5 feels great. And then the regained added resource as well on your opponent's turn. Remember, every single time that your opponent special summons once per turn, you can bring back a Bestial from your graveyard. And we did send the Magnum out, and that's going to get a further search in the end phase. It really is just card advantage the deck. From what I understand, I don't think Josh plays the trap card for Lebellion.
I think he's not playing it. Let me...
Yeah.
No, he's not.
I think he did discuss with me a little bit before the event if he was going to potentially try and play it just for different matchups in the side deck. Turns out that he has opted to not go for that, so another Runic being activated here. I think that was the Destruction.
Yeah, again, this allows him to go once more into the Jerry and now recover the fountain, as it's not once per turn, and that goes the SP Little Knight.
The Little Knight synergy with Baron the Floor is absolutely disgusting. You can actually use the effect of Baron, negate a card your opponent controls, activate Little Knight, banishing itself and the Baron until the end phase. The Baron returns to the field. Remember, Baron's effect is once while face up on the field. So then it leaves the field, comes back, and then you can use the negate again.
Yeah, and there are so many synergies, not just that. Even the regain, the plus SP Little Knight, we have seen now against Dark or Light decks makes for a very nasty combo where you just banish both, but then shuffle back while you banish for your opponent, and only your Little Knight comes back. So this deck is full of, you know, intricacies, and yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes up here. Anthony does have a lot of good, powerful Light and Darks in the extra deck with the Cyburst engine as mentioned, Masquerena, not Decotito, he isn't actually a fire, isn't he? Yep. But yeah, there's a couple of interactions that, as you've mentioned, work really well this format, and it's probably why Regained is such an important piece of the puzzle here. But Rescue Ace not going to be worried too much here. Did he just pass turn?
Wow, Anthony just passed back to Joshua.
That is really unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few duelists which I've seen. You know, I remember Dinka was in a previous format saying against the Runic decks, sometimes you just want to do for this because then they cannot really attack. You skip their turn, but yeah, it's definitely unfortunate when you don't have enough.
Yeah, there's a world you can just pass because you're not in risk of you know, losing the duel since they can't go to the battle phase. Yeah. But I'm just worried that Josh might get ahead a little too far on.
No.
Oh, wow, okay.
Back.
As you see, passed. So Anthony actually was really with an heads-up play here. Makes sense.
All right.
Now, though, we cannot really play that game anymore. We need to do something, and we have one additional card to do that with. So
yeah, I guess you could see it as some sort of indirect 1 day of peace activation. If you really squint hard enough, that's just what happened. So Anthony having another extra card to have a turn here. Let's see if he can do anything about this, because as you mentioned, no runics were activated on Josh's turn. Josh just goes draw pass, doesn't activate any runics to resolve fountain because you will have to skip another battle phase. No point in that. So let's see if we can hold down the fort with just the SP and the Baron, as well as a mystery set card.
Well, Anthony might have drawn, honestly, because he's thinking about it, but
yeah, maybe he just doesn't see a line that does it. And there are still 19 minutes left in this, 26 already down, and this is gonna be a tough one for Anthony. And he passes back once again. Wow.
That is
What
really
did he draw
unfortunate.
into? Like,
Gosh, that's, I mean, full like hand traps or something.
like are the 2 Veilers? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's really rough here.
Well,
And Josh can probably just try and summon out maybe a Beastial or 2. Should be enough to round out the game here, but
yeah, but maybe he has a read again. Okay, no, he's gonna bounce it back. Okay, interesting. So Joshua probably sees a line where he can end this duel right here and puts back the Baron, and yeah, does have a Quam. Yeah.
special summoning the Magnamut out of the graveyard with the tag out effect of Baron, versatile monster, Omni Negate, as well as that synergy we mentioned with Little Knight, but also recurring from the graveyard. And our normal summon Quen's going to dump Cartesia. That's going to give us more follow-up if we can't find a way to find game here. But with a 6 and a 4, we can indeed just go back into the Baron before we end our turn here. But first and foremost, let's see if Josh can figure out any extra damage right now. It doesn't look like it, actually. Every deck has its strengths and weaknesses. Drawing a million cards and controlling the field really well is one of them, but dealing a ton of damage, sometimes Runic decks can struggle with that, with the battle phase restriction and just not being able to put up so many big bodies and monsters, although the Bestials do facilitate that quite nicely, but not in this situation. Josh is going to have to settle for remaking Baron.
Yeah, and now there is essentially one more turn for Anthony to do something to stay in this game. Otherwise, we are gonna go to just game 3. Let's see.
Druid's Worm is added back in the end phase here.
One more draw.
Magnamut searching from deck or adding back from grave. Can't summon the Magnamut now to try and generate free advantage because Anthony does not control a monster, so Bestials aren't completely free. And yeah, Anthony essentially got to just pass and see 3 extra cards over the multiple turns there. And yeah, this is it. We need to play now. We're going to go Diabell Star, sending a card from our hands here. We're going to dump that Headquarters from the hand to the grave there. Gonna chain the SP Little Knight here and into enemy controller.
Okay, let's see.
I saw this card in the side deck of Anthony. I was really curious and wondering, is that a card you would bring in against Runic?
Yeah, and we just negate here with the Baron.
All right.
Let's see if there is anything else from Anthony. At least we have baited both SP and Baron.
Yeah, that's huge here. We're going to set off of the Bellstar, getting the Sinful Spoil out of the deck here. And yeah, the Sinful Spoil engine is probably what took Rescue Ace into domination over the last couple of months. You've probably noticed that Rescue Ace pre-Age of Overlord wasn't exactly an incredibly consistent deck. Did have a lot of power and strength around it, but over the course of Age of Overlord, the Sinful engine has just given it so much consistency as we also continue our turn here with Emergency.
I mean, Anthony's trying, honestly. I mean,
Yeah, but not tries the best. Resolves. So right now, obviously Joshua not really scared by this. Let's see.
Yeah, a lot of responses here. Regained will get to trigger on any summon and give you Magnamut more advantage. And if we have any more Runics in our hand, which, you know, there's a chance that there is after drawing so many cards, that can also snowball and further into more draws off of Fountain. Here comes that Emergency, bringing out the Hydrant and tributes from the hand, a copy of the Turbulence.
Yeah, not looking too good for Anthony right now, but Joshua on the other hand is gonna use that regained that gives him so much advantage and goes for a Flashing Fire from the end. Just one of the multiple Runics he's probably holding.
Yeah, Chainlink 1 regained, Chainlink 2 Flashing Fire to destroy the Hydrant. And I think we're doing this just to try and force out any other kind of Rescue Ace spells and traps we have in our hand. To stop any potential bonus effects that might come down here.
I think Anthony might have just one card in hand. Yeah, let's see.
We have a discard, then we have the tribute, so we've gone quite minus here.
No, maybe 2 card. Yeah, maybe 2 cards.
All right, that's huge here.
Okay.
We're going to target the Turbulence, and in response, we're going to alert. Is that Rescue? I swear rescue and alert look exactly the same, don't they?
I think it's rescue, right?
Yeah, this one's rescue. Target a monster in the grave, and then you can special summon it to your field. Could also bring back our opponent's cards if necessary here. There we go, we're going to bring back Turbulence. 2 cards off the top. I think that was a lifter we hit there, but that is a 3 of, so not too worried about that.
Let's see if there is anything else from Joshua to stop this. Freezing Curse. I mean, we could see the same as in the previous.
So on summon here, Turbulence is targeting the Runic Fountain to destroy. So Josh deliberating whether we want to chain another Runic to summon Hugin and then protect.
The thing is, Joshua can also now just use it, and he's gonna go for both the Magnamut and then the Fountain, because as turn player, Anthony has to be shielding 1 right here, which allows Joshua to just resolve the Fountain first.
Yeah, still gets value here because of the turn player priority. His Fountain is always going to come last on the chain there.
That doesn't really matter then. So Fountain is gone, but Joshua still has drawn 2 cards.
Must be some hand traps there if we're not using any other Runics, I suppose. All right, Turbulence going to activate the effect to set from the deck here. We already have 1. That's going to be potentially
solid. The solid
3
turn
more.
though by Anthony again. Once again, trying his best to stay in this.
Extinguish, Contain, and Emergency. Search that at the deck here.
Yeah, unfortunately there's no alert, given that it's been banished before.
Yeah, we can recur that with a Headquarters if necessary, but I think Anthony's already actually sent the Headquarters from the hand, so the long game is not what Anthony wants to play here, I think. Battle phase not used, remember, so we do have some options available. Normal summon Ash Blossom.
Yeah.
That's not how you counter Fountain. All right. Do we have any kind of, I don't know, maybe an Almirage or something to climb up to some Cyberse plays, maybe?
But we are gonna see Joshua right here actually prompted a response and gonna special summon the Druid's Worm.
Yeah, Resolution, the Regain gets to recycle the Jerry. We could draw 1 more card off of Regain.
Yeah, and this is a beautiful cycle, but as mentioned here, we knew that the Bellstar and
Ash Blossom in response here.
And that's it. Wow.
That's the final nail in the coffin for Anthony. The top deck Ash Blossom drawn from those Fountain draws earlier is going to be enough for Anthony there, and we are going into game number 3 now.
What a final. So honestly, we are witnessing, couldn't ask for more. Both duels have been incredible up until now, and this is exactly what this matchup is about. I mean, a lot of back and forth, a lot of advantage, and a lot of what we could say like vintage Yu-Gi-Oh was all about, which is card advantage, trying even those +1s and end up mattering. But now Anthony gonna go first and gonna try to replicate what he did in game 1 with some important additions from his side deck, most importantly that Droll and Lockbird.
Yeah, I think the gameplay that we've witnessed was probably peak Yu-Gi-Oh! I think there was just so much back and forth. There was some really good intelligent plays there from both players to navigate around each other's disruption, and yeah, really well played. I think this is going to be a fantastic game 3.
Yeah, especially because like Anthony basically passed for two turns, right?
Yeah.
And then basically was almost able to come back into the game, and without having the alert in the game still, I mean, with the Ash Blossom, Joshua was able to seal the game. And in here, there are 3 cross-out designator that Anthony may be siding in if he really feels like. I mean, that might be good to stop Joshua's Ash Blossom.
I'm really going to have to find out some more about this cross-out in his side deck. Perhaps we'll see it in a profile at some point somewhere, but there's a lot of curious targets here. Like he's playing Pearly Yeep.
Yeah,
you know?
I really like
cross-out
that,
for Pearly Yeep. That's really interesting.
That's really
okay.
up. But at the other end, I want to mention one thing from Joshua's side deck, which is that if we look at the time, actually, we got ahead of ourselves, but there are about 9 minutes remaining. And there is a certain card that is one of the free offs in Joshua's side deck. And that is a card that is a little spooky, let's just say that. And that could actually come even though there are only 9 minutes remaining. But without further ado, our duelists are ready. After 2 days, there is only 1 game remaining to crown YCS Bologna champion. Let's find out who that will be.
Can't hear it at home, but the crowd here has given us a loud roar for this game number 3. We've gone tooth and nail to fight through this entire huge tournament that we've got here. And Anthony pushing through, Joshua equally involved with a massive, just huge back and forth from both players over the last game or 2. And now it's time for Anthony playing at lightning speed here, recognizing.
Looks like as if only 1 minute remaining, no?
Yeah, he's playing as if we've got 30 seconds on the clock here, but I think he sees the lines, the combos. He's probably done this a million times already, and so it's just about flexing those, the memory of the combo lines here as we try and set up as quick as possible, because Anthony does know for sure that Josh's deck, the Runic deck, can defend itself really, really well and is super resilient to damage and can just hold out here. And so he knows that he's going to need multiple turns in order to try and deal damage and get to a battle phase that actually facilitates some damage for him.
And by the way, just saying, this is the first summon for Anthony. Just saying.
Okay. But I mean, the speed is quite impressive from Anthony, as mentioned, and well, there are 8 minutes remaining, and this is crazy stuff. And to be fair, can't blame him for it. Now, we'll see this emergency. It resolves. Great news for Anthony.
Yeah, no Ash Blossom coming down here. There was no Droll Lockbird summoning out the Turbulence, tributing from the field here, and now Turbulence can get 4 from the deck. That's going to give all of the all-important Contain, Extinguish, Alert, and Rescue onto the field here from the deck to be able to start disrupting plays and then try and get to that battle phase on the turn 3 and deal some damage, as we are hitting just about 7 minutes on the clock here. Josh is thinking long on this Turbulence here. Do we have a response for it? And that is Nibiru, the primal being! Would you believe it? The rock comes down. Yeah, you were counting for a reason, I suppose. Nibiru comes down here on the summon of Turbulence. Oh, and a chain of Druid's Worm in response as well. So that's going to send the token. And Josh is, just summoning a 3000 body. They're preventing the Turbulence from being summoned. And what can Anthony possibly do right now? That was the big play that he had available to him, was the Turbulence.
Yeah, that's crazy from Joshua. Just what you needed there. Perfect pair in hand. And wow. Anthony, just gonna
summons
pass
a
play.
Preventer and sets 1 card to pass turn here as Josh in the end phase another Magnamut, and he's got 3 targets as well because the Dark Monsters Link Karibo was made in the graveyard. Magnamut gonna get a search in the end phase for Lebellion, the Bestial Aliber, whatever you want, and that's gonna give you, well, I mean, as long as Josh doesn't activate a Runic card, he can deal some sort of damage, surely, only through 1 singular back row remaining from Anthony, completely out of resources. That Nibiru wiping away the entire field. Unbelievable. This is an incredible game.
Oh my. I mean, I don't know.
And we got the normal summon Quem.
As well.
Huge normal summon with Lebellion as well in the hands here. And forget dealing a little bit of damage. I think we could potentially try and go for game right now. A huge
What are we
swing
saying?
here.
What game is this?
Yeah.
Crazy opening. The Magnamut once again limited but glued to Joshua End this weekend, and well, this is an amazing turn.
I don't know what happened. We had a nice little slow back and forth over the last game or 2, big technical plays, but now we are just lighting the fire here as both players going all in. There is the Baron the Floor being summoned, now activating the effect to destroy the last spell and trap card, the only spell and trap card on the field. It's an Infinite Impermanence being forced out here.
Sure.
Yeah, no, you're fine with that because Baron can only be used once while on the field. No real reason at all to negate this. Let that resolve, and you've got 3000 damage through to the life points directly. Does Josh have any more here? unbelievable turn of events here. What a huge swing. And it looks like we have the activation in hand of what appears to be another Bestial.
Yeah, yet another one. That's the one he added with the Magnamut.
Yep, there's the Saranir here. Curious if we'll maybe send it at some point, linked away to dump Lebellion, but I think we're just trying to find some damage right now.
I think it will have the bottom phase. No.
You know, in hindsight, if Josh just destroyed the monster, negated the imperm, I think we would have had more than enough for a game, honestly. But all right, this is still going to be working out quite nicely. Saranir sends, Lebellion summoned out. Going to send the card to the graveyard, set up regained. No access to runic cards so far, but obviously no reason to use them early.
Doesn't need them.
Yeah.
This works out. I mean, the runic cards carried him all weekend, but right here in game 3 might win without a single runic card.
Yeah, no, he just needs to get to the battle phase and deal some damage, and then we can
Wow,
handle that later.
duality.
That's duality being activated, spinning away the Lebellion, summoning out the deck. The extra deck, rather. Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend for damage in time if necessary. I don't know if it's going to be required, but Duality's bonus effect in the graveyard, recycling a Light in the Dark to draw another. As a wise man once said, I'm a banish a Light in the Dark, but instead we're returning it to the graveyard to draw another card. Can we facilitate or see any other pieces of the puzzle to give us more damage here and just go for game?
Pure Bestial.
How much damage can we even do here? We can do 6,000 and then effect destroy. That's going to be 75. We just need 500 damage.
I think that is 75. Yeah.
Do we have anything else? Josh just needs 500 damage from the hand in the battle phase to be able to take this out here. Looks like we're going to the battle phase. Nibiru, the primal being, attacks over, and the preventer actually floating back into the lifter here. Very important. Chooses not to negate with the Baron effect here.
Yeah, because it's negated by impermanence.
Yeah, of course, the Infinite Purse did resolve earlier. Yeah, okay.
But wait a second, because I have a doubt. Wasn't the same regain column as the impermanence? I'm just noticing. I think
hang on, that was the that was the imperm column.
I'm pretty sure it was the same impermanence column.
Did we use regain draw effects?
Yeah, it was the same column as the regain, right? But we haven't used any of the effects, I think. So just let's keep that in mind, I think, right? But just as a
Okay.
Just to remind, I guess, us if it ever happened. But I don't think we drew a card, right?
No, I'm not sure that we actually recycled anything because we only did we recycle the cards? We only have one banish monster. Although we summoned, what, was it 2 Bestials? One of them was Linkaribo, one of them was the Quem.
I think it should be okay, right? Because they didn't... I mean, same column, but...
I don't think they were used, though, right? No, so for now, all good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, 5,000 damage has been dealt here. Linking away the Nibiru and the Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. Doesn't need to use the effect to burn here because we've done 3,000 in the battle phase, linking away into SP Little Knight. Remember, we talked about that incredible synergy with Baron and the SP.
Absolutely, and with just 2 minutes remaining, this is quite a tough field to break and then deal damage. Wow.
We haven't used a single runic card, by the way, just remember. So, you know, Swiss Army knife of a deck can do anything, I suppose. Normal summoning Hydrant. And Anthony has 1 minute 30 seconds to deal with SP, regained, Baron, and make 3,000 damage just to tie this up. Regained is going to resolve here on the summon of a monster, specials out the Druid's Worm from the graveyard. And now we're going to activate Hydrant. Will Josh negate and destroy this? Do we hold here? We're going to think for just a moment here.
I think it will make sense to negate it, right? Because you know that there's a spell in Anthony's hand.
All right, so Baron negate.
Yeah.
Negate, destroy the Hydrant.
Is there anything else from Anthony?
Here we go. Activate. Turbulence is in the hand. Okay.
But the time is... Oh my god, 1 minute remaining.
Time is ticking. Time is ticking. We're banishing 2 here. Special summoning Turbulence on
the
summon.
What an ending.
We could use the Little Knight here. Nope. Okay, we're going to let that hit the field here. And now we're going to reborn the Turbulence, it looks like.
Is there a response from Joshua? Seems like the Little Knight will be used.
I think we are definitely going to have to use Little Knight here. Activates Little Knight, banishing itself and the Turbulence. A second Turbulence hits the field here, but 30 seconds left on the clock. It doesn't matter if you can set 27 cards from the deck here. We need to do 3,000 damage.
One more card. What is it?
Draws off the Sinful Engine. Do we have anything else here? That's a preventer from the hand here that we are banishing to special summon. Hits the board. Can we deal anything? 3,000, remember, 4 cards being set from the deck
10
here.
10 seconds left.
12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10, not
crazy,
10 seconds, 9 seconds.
Here.
And Anthony playing at lightning speed. Even at 8 minutes, he recognized that this was going to be a long duel and was playing at supersonic speed, but
and
there
seems
it
like
is.
time might
0
be called.
seconds left.
Any seconds now.
5,000 life points. Josh on 8K. And here we've got 2 bodies on the field setting off the turbulence. Did we resolve the turbulence yet?
Yes, we did. We did, but only one target was left.
That's
so
insane.
now, again, moments away. He's just trying to figure out what he has. He has Sidao. Can he even bring anything back? Scarlet is dark.
Okay, confirmation from the judges. Time has been called.
Time has been called.
There is no error on your screen. This is it. We need to do 3,000 damage in the main phase. Do we have it? How?
Yeah, it seems like it's just a matter of moments, and Joshua might have pulled this one off because there is no battle phase for Anthony. Wow.
Okay, making some link plays here. What could we possibly commit to? 3,000 damage. Like,
I think he's just realizing what's going on, and unfortunately can't blame him unless there is some ace up his sleeve, really considering all of these lines. But
final chance here. This is the end of it's the main phase. Like, what can we do? Like, we're gonna go Hita. Okay, Hita, bring back the airlifter. Do something with Celine maybe, because we have a spellcaster.
There is
bring
the
back
Celine
monster into a Link 4. We're gonna go SP Little Knight
on the
here.
face down. Okay.
Banish the face down, chaining it. Runic Slumber.
Protecting the Baron, it seems.
Okay, protecting Baron from destruction. Doesn't wall up with Jerry or anything like that. Not needed. Banishing 2 cards at the top.
And that's it!
Shakes the hand. That's it. GG. It's over. Joshua Schmidt takes down another YCS Bologna 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible match.
What a match and what an ending it was. Down to the last second. Once again in time. What a crazy ending. And what an event. Wow. YCS Bologna has been incredible. We've had so many duelists, 2,488 from all over the world, over 12 rounds of Swiss and top 64. But in the end, once again, is Joshua Schmidt winning his 4th YCS. What a weekend we just witnessed.
Oh my God, I love Quem is going to be the new tagline and motto for Josh. That is incredible. What a duel. What a duel. Right down to the wire, right down to the final duel.
Nibiru plus Druis Wurman, he had it all. I mean, what a match. What a weekend,
Absolutely,
honestly.
But on the other hand, kudos to Anthony. He played his heart out in what was a very tough final, and after losing already at YCS Lyon in the final, you really gotta feel bad for him. But he proved once again that he's one of the best players in Europe. I'm sure he will have an amazing future ahead of him and probably at some point end up with the trophy of his own. But amazingly played. And in the end, The Rock, Nibiru, was what won the finals for Joshua, most likely, and this is his.
Burst Glutonia is the trophy. So congratulations to Joshua Schmidt, getting another accolade for himself. Unbelievable. So yeah, we are going to be having a presentation of sorts for this award ceremony to present Josh with his prize, the 1st place trophy.
And again, yeah, thank you guys once again for being with us for the entire weekend. It has been a blast to do commentary for this event back in Italy after a while. But again, feel free, go back, watch the entire journey of how Joshua was crowned 4-time YCS champion. But what a weekend and what a day we just witnessed through these amazing, amazing duels. And now, let's hear it from the man himself with Head.
Attention duelists, your champion of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series live in Bologna is none other than the man himself, Joshua Schmidt! Congratulations, Joshua. You've just come off the back of a World Championship and now you're straight back into winning YCSs. How does it feel?
Thank you so much. It still feels surreal every single time.
It never gets old.
It really doesn't.
Well, speaking of getting old, nothing's going to get old like having a good old trophy handed to you. This is your trophy and your prize card. Another Verse Glatonia. Congratulations. Give it up for your trophy-holding champion, Joshua Schmidt. Thank you so much to everyone who has been watching this show. This has been absolutely brilliant to do. Thank you to all of you at home for watching. Thank you to all of our judges. Thank you to everyone who's made this happen. And thank you to all of you, the duelists, who make these events happen. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be able to do this. One more time, give it up for your champion, Joshua Schmidt! That's going to be it from us. Thank you very much, all of you, for watching at home. And we will see you at our next YCS event very soon. Take care.